Should there be
No.
a co-rookie of the year? Because Angel Reese is, of course, doing historical things with her double-doubles as a rookie, and Caitlin Clark already has set a million records and looks completely unstoppable, especially when it comes to dishing. And it feels like we are both on the same page here.
Not a shot. No, they're not equal.
There's a buzz about Angel Reese and her ongoing double-double streak. Just yesterday, the WNBA shared a record that Reese has now surpassed. And let's just say the fans had quite the reaction.
Okay.
It's not rookies of the year. It is the rookie who has had the biggest impact on their team, and it's unequivocally, and the odds are saying that it's even distancing itself even further, that it's Caitlin Clark. She is leading in all of the statistical categories as a rookie, minus rebounds. Obviously, Angel Reese is averaging a double-double, but the impact on the team, we are talking again at nauseum about Caitlin Clark leading as a rookie the Fever to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. They are ahead of the Chicago Sky. So I think, to me, if this is even reaching a conversation of splitting this, it might as well be, hey, you're a rookie, here's an award. You're also a rookie, here's just an award for being a rookie.
I mentioned the other night that it seemed many fans weren't really tuned in, or maybe it had been a while since the Sky faced the Fever, leading them to forget how incredible Caitlin Clark is. She really showed her skills as they dominated the Chicago Sky. However, just yesterday, the Sky faced a strong Minnesota Lynx team and lost.
One thing Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now, makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! Never! You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league right now.
At first, people noticed Reese's stats, 17 points and 19 rebounds, which seemed impressive, but she shot only 6 of 16 from the field, indicating a lackluster offensive showing.
Chicago Sky are falling off the map in the second half of the season. Why? Well, they got a star, right? Everybody tells me Angel Reese is an absolute star. Look at all the double-doubles. Oh, my God. Well, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky have made it about Angel Reese, not about the Chicago Sky. Even last night, if you look at it, what they have? Barbie night. We're giving out towels, blah, 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 blah. And when you see Angel Reese, what does she do? She's walking in with look at me outfits. It's about me. When you see Caitlin Clark, what do you see? It's about we.
Last night, former WNBA legend Lisa Leslie made a bold statement suggesting that the Rookie of the Year award should be shared between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. This was one of the most puzzling comments, especially considering the events of the past 8 weeks.
Angel Reese is coming off. Hey, look, won the national championship 1 year, got to the Final Four the next. Really successful career, but like most that come in the WNBA, nobody cared. So Angel Reese is coming in, and she's swimming upstream 2 ways. One, her team's not very good. 2, she's second fiddle to the little white girl over here, Caitlin Clark. And that pisses her off. That pisses the whole thing off.
It's clear that one player stands out above the rest, and I just don't understand it. Leslie even claimed that Camila Cardoso outperformed Reese, which seems off base. Bleacher Report also highlighted a new WNBA record for rebounds, but let's be clear, this is a league record, not just a rookie one.
So in the second half of the season, and the second half of this game, the team that was more together was clearly the Indiana Fever, and the Indiana Fever routed the Chicago Sky.
While Reese's numbers are notable, many of those rebounds came from her own missed shots, and fans are not oblivious to that fact.
Talking about sort of what has been an undercurrent this whole entire year and calling out people for their perceived hate on Caitlin Clark. And as someone that has already stepped into this space and was called numerous names on both sides of this argument, for people in the media, Caitlin Clark has become such a lightning rod that in many ways, I'm going to liken it to sort of Voldemort and Harry Potter.
Oh, you're not supposed to say his name.
In the recent game against the Fever, Reese was hardly visible, and it felt like she was padding her stats by staying in the game longer than necessary. I've seen Chicago Sky fans starting to turn against Reese, realizing that her presence hasn't significantly improved the team.
But this is expected of Caitlin Clark. She's supposed to be great. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is, because that's a surprise, which to me is wrong, because Angel Reese was the best player on the team that won a national championship in college. It's not like she came out of nowhere. And she's been a really consistent player. Caitlin Clark has a bullseye on her back every single game. You must stop her. I don't think you look at Chicago and go, boy, if we stop Angel Reese, we're going to win. And that's why this is a silly argument.
Meanwhile, Camila Cardoso, who was drafted ahead of Reese, has been sidelined while Reese chases records. Leslie's comments that both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark deserve the Rookie of the Year award just don't hold water. The pressure of this season has transformed the WNBA, and both rookies have stepped up beyond expectations.
The whole point of the voters is that you have to make tough decisions. And I do still think the decision is tougher than you seem to think. I still stand on the fact that I think that is Caitlin Clark because of all of the things that I've mentioned before, but because people don't really do their research, I'll remind them again, because it is harder to translate as a guard right away in the league. And also because of not just the historical stuff that she's doing, but because she is so integral to what the Fever do and the idea that she is at the moment leading her team to the postseason. How you contribute to your team and what your contributions mean in terms of team success is important. And so I think that it should be, Caitlin Clark as Rookie of the Year, while I still enjoy the debate for people that feel like it should be Angel Reese.
I'll admit, I expected this level of performance from Caitlin Clark, but many are calling out Leslie's statement as racially biased. Jason Whitlock pointed out that it seems like Leslie is trying to share the award with Reese simply because of her race, which is disheartening. If you understand basketball, it's clear that only Caitlin Clark should take home the award. Angel Reese is facing significant backlash for her performance. And while we respect Lisa Leslie, it's time to be realistic. Whitlock's comments about this kind of tribalism are spot on. We're talking about an elite rebounder versus a truly elite basketball player. This conversation needs to be reevaluated. Look, Reese is a solid player, but she really boosts her rebounding numbers every game. On the other hand, Clark is a game-changing player and is having one of the best rookie seasons ever. No question about it. Caitlin deserves the recognition. We've been talking about her in the MVP discussions for the past 2 weeks. It's incredible. I mean, seriously, that's wild. Some opinions are good, but this one, not so much. Really not great. You have one player on the All-WNBA first team, while the other is just a role player who isn't contributing to winning basketball. Let's be real. Their team is struggling. What's going on? It's just disrespectful to what Clark is achieving.
I think Caitlin Clark's WNBA peers are going to break her. I'm not alone in that thought. Charles Barkley, LeBron James, and countless others can see what I can see. The level of pressure on Clark to rescue the floundering league, combined with the amount of jealousy, racism, and anti-heterosexual bigotry directed at Clark, combined with the incompetence of the Indiana Fever organization, are going to permanently destroy Caitlin Clark. That is my prediction. I do not see a path to success for Clark, not a sustainable path.
This isn't some consolation prize. May the best rookie win. I lost a lot of respect for Leslie today. Clark outperforms Reese in every statistical category except for rebounding. She leads the entire WNBA in points scored and assists by a significant margin. Meanwhile, Reese has the worst shooting percentage in the league from 6 feet out. Those are the facts. It's not a good look. This isn't a consolation award. Clark and Reese are on completely different levels. There's no comparison here, so let's be honest. It's a really poor take. A talented character actor versus a generational talent who's dominating the league and making former legends look foolish out of jealousy. It's a bad take. Comparing Angel to Rodman and Jordan, that's just not right. It's a terrible look for those making these comparisons. Nancy Lieberman is calling for an end to the negativity aimed at Caitlin Clark. The basketball icon and commentator was on the mic for the Indiana Fever and Dallas Wings game, and she had some strong thoughts for those criticizing Clark. When I walked in before the game, there were hundreds of fans lined up, she began. What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational, and as a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you for lifting our game up, you and so many great players. You are going to make all these women multi-millionaires one day. She added, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. We shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her. At this point, it seems likely that Clark will be this year's WNBA Rookie of the Year, even if she downplayed its importance before the game.
WNBA, I'm talking players, coaches, and refs. They're all a bunch of Caitlin Clark haters. They're all a bunch of jealous haters.
Yep.
They are just working themselves up about Caitlin Clark just to hate on her. Skylar Diggins is bumping her. Their girls are complaining on the bench. Referees are getting into it now. They're all a bunch of haters.
NBA star LeBron James also joined the conversation on social media after Clark's impressive game against the Sky, tweeting "Hi haters" in reference to his earlier defense of Clark against supposed haters in the sports community. Caitlin Clark: "Hi haters, there hasn't been much solid evidence of a significant backlash against Clark as she entered the WNBA."
Let's say this, and then I want to be done with this whole conversation. So for people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, first of all, black people can't be racist.
Respectfully, Cheryl Swoops, you have any idea how that makes you look? You have any idea how that serves to stain any kind of critique of Caitlin Clark, because that gives fodder to those who believe she's being hated on and ostracized to some degree.
And her popularity has only grown as the season progressed and her performance improved. Seriously, God, and this celebration of this single season rebounding award, crushed. The league is getting crushed for continuing to drum this up. Got it done, missing so many shots and getting your own rebounds.
The WNBA in its entirety is really cooking right now, and it continues to grow, and there is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball.
It's actually embarrassing. Getting your own offensive rebounds from missed layups isn't impressive. Caitlin Clark is setting the record for the greatest rookie of the year ever. The Chicago Sky lead the league in missed shots. Plenty of rebounds to go around. Yeah, they're leading the league in missed shots because of Angel Reese. I contend that she's actually potentially making her team a lot worse. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. It's crazy, but Lisa Leslie is getting destroyed, getting dragged.
Caitlin Clark is taking over this league. And every passing game that she does something awesome, it makes the decision to leave her off the Olympic team that much stupider.
I've got to, I was over the weekend seeing the return of the W, seeing how great she is still.
She's already set the rookie assist record.
She's better. Like the month off that the Team USA gave her, when she was. And by the way, I was thinking that as they were in danger in the gold medal game, how would they have handled that?
Arianda Jacob, a well-known influencer and marketer, was a guest on Jason Whitlock's podcast, Fearless. During the conversation, she drew a comparison between Caitlin Clark, the rising star of women's basketball, and the pop sensation Taylor Swift. Jacob expressed her reluctance to cross paths with Clark, fearing the wrath of her dedicated fan base, affectionately known as Clarksies. In her own words, Jacob stated, "Caitlin Clark is the Taylor Swift of women's sport. We do not mess with Taylor Swift. We do not mess with Caitlin Clark because the Swifties will come for you. The Clarksies, or whatever you want to call them, will come for you."
What was ever going on in the league, I think it was just a new environment for her, and now she's figured it out, and that's what Caitlin.
No, it's not about Caitlin.
But I feel like she's playing, but I don't think the way people are playing her has changed. I think she has gotten better as the season went on.
Well, she was supposed to get better. No, I'm just talking about even though that hit.
You haven't even heard anybody talking about the over physicality and stuff anymore because she's giving that shit back now. She's figured it out.
Yeah, but even like this, she gets hit and she walks. She don't make it a big deal because she's used to it now. But they're still going to point it.
Right.
First, we found out Coach Cheryl Reeve, who, let's be real, ain't our favorite on this channel, straight up rejected Angel at the draft. She was like, "Nah, girl, we ain't drafting you." Now, I don't know if that was such a genius move, considering the lack of results from the player she did pick. But hey, she gave Angel the Dikembe Mutombo finger wag, no doubt about it. And now, the other person who's turned Angel down is none other than Caitlin Clark.
Man, if someone could just help her figure out how to perform offensively, man, she's going to be a real impact player in the WNBA. Instead, because she compares herself to Caitlin Clark, actually, we're sitting there going man, this woman can barely shoot a layup.
Caitlin's been on a tear lately. She just schooled the Seattle Storm the other day. The Fever, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull. She's been cooking them all.
And, before last night's game against the Phoenix Mercury, I think in her previous 5 games, she had shot 29% from the field. And unfortunately, I've watched these games because I'm now watching Angel Reese as well. And she can't make all of her shots are within 2, 3, 4 feet, and she can't make 29% of them. Here's why I'll give Angel Reese credit, and this is why I'm saying she would be getting celebrated had she not attached herself to Caitlin Clark.
And now, the big news is she's gone and signed French Olympic star Gabby Williams, who's making her return to the WNBA. Defensively, Gabby's the real deal, y'all. The Fever could have used her for sure, but get this. Just a few days ago, Angel tried to recruit Gabby to join her, and it's blown up in her face big time. So now that the gold medal game is done, Angel hit up Gabby and was like, hey girl, wanna run it back with the Chicago Sky?
If Angel Reese were disconnected from Caitlin Clark and we just evaluated Angel Reese off of her performance without comparing it to Caitlin Clark, without having this ridiculous Rookie of the Year conversation, we'd all be sitting here saying like, man, what a great rebounder, energy, defensive player Angel Reese is.
And Gabby was like, nah, sis, let's just team up somewhere else. They did me dirty. And there we have it. Angel getting rejected, left and right.
She's smart and she's a survivor. Last night against the Mercury, instead of shooting layups, she started shooting mid-range shots to get her offense going, and it worked. She ended up with, I think, 19 points last night, something around there, or maybe it was 20, I can't remember. Maybe it was 20 points. But she started hitting the mid-range game and face-up shots because she has no chance of getting those layups off against Brittany Griner. But Angel Reese has such an awkward left-handed shot. She shoots it from her shoulder. She doesn't shoot it at eye level.
Tough break. Gabby Williams has just joined the Seattle Storm, but here's the interesting part. They actually acquired her through a trade with the LA Sparks back in 2022.
You said that Gabby Williams was the most complete player in basketball. Do you still believe that?
I do, men and women. Gabby Williams is a stud.
During that season, she was a starter in every game, averaging 7.5 points and 5 rebounds. Pretty impressive, right? She also earned a spot on the all-defensive second team, which helped the Storm make it to the WNBA semifinals, although they fell short against the Aces. Fast forward to last year, she re-signed with the Storm mid-season after dealing with a concussion while playing in France. Before suffering a stress fracture, which are never easy, she played 10 games, averaging 8.4 points and 3.8 rebounds. With the Olympics taking place in France this year, Williams chose to sit out the beginning of the WNBA season to train with the French national team. She came very close to leading them to a gold medal. That game-tying shot at the end would have counted if her foot hadn't been on the line. Still, she had an outstanding performance, leading France with 152 points and averaging 5.8 assists, including a team high of 19 assists. They were just shy of breaking Team USA's 60-game Olympic winning streak. Angel Reese isn't heading to the Sky after all. She's actually making her return to the WNBA to join the playoff chase. It's wild, right?
That's why her stuff gets swatted and when she heaves it at the basket. But her biggest problem is the Caitlin Clark comparison. She's being destroyed by chasing the Rookie of the Year thing, which she has no chance. So she wants to be a dynamic offensive player, and she's just not right now. She's a great rebounder, great energy, very good player. But comparing herself and attaching herself to Caitlin Clark is actually destroying Angel Reese.